Welcome to another episode of Lunch with the Shark. Join us as we dive deep into discussions about business, accounting, and finance to help you build a business that thrives. Now sit back and have a bite with your host, the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa.
Well, hello, good afternoon. Welcome to a new edition of Lunch with the Shark. Today, within the new edition, we have a new intro and we have a new month, we have a new week. Holy shit, we have a new set of things all across the board. That's great. New cycles, new beginnings, new goals, new pushing forward. Okay, so it's been a very productive morning, regardless of the little mishaps with our internet down here. It gets sort of frustrating. But at the same time, it's fun because it's challenging. It is challenging. Let me tell you one thing. I don't know. We need to understand that there was a life before the internet, and there's a life with the internet. Unfortunately, everything is moving forward with internet connection, and there's a lot of things that we cannot do if we are not connected to the World Wide Web. We cannot download bank statements. We cannot get financial transactions. We cannot get tax forms filed. We cannot communicate with our clients other than if we utilize a cell phone or a regular phone. But nowadays, phones are even connected to the internet through companies. So it's something very convoluted. It's complex. But we need to learn to understand that not all the time we're going to have internet. We need to understand that at the same time, not everyone in the world has internet. It's so interesting. We live in our own bubbles that it's scary. We live in our own bubbles that we assume that everybody or the majority live like us. And maybe that's my own belief, which I doubt it. But it is what it is, right? It's the first day of February. To my Mexican fellows, you guys are celebrating February the 5th today. So we're observing, what is it? The Constitution, Mexican Constitution, Febrero 5. But it's being observed today. So make the best out of this long holiday, long weekend for you guys. See you tomorrow at the office, and enjoy, relax. We've actually had an amazing weekend in family. My brother from Guadalajara came over with my sister-in-law Eugenia. They're already back in Guadalajara. They came over to visit and do some business, and we actually had a very amazing dinner to celebrate Eugenia's birthday, my brother's birthday, and my other brother's birthday. So we had a dinner, we had a breakfast, and then we spent it with another uncles of ours, and it was amazing. It was really relaxing. And do you know what's the most interesting thing of it? That it was organic. It was not planned. It was not projected. It was just out of nowhere, like, hey, let's do this, let's do it. And then everybody was in agreement, and nobody said, no, I don't want to do it, or everybody was like, okay, whatever. It's very laid back and no agenda, organically relaxing, no drama, zero toxicity, everything. I don't know if all the planets aligned or what, but there was no drama, no toxic environment. It was really relaxing. It was actually really, really relaxing. So I hope you guys had the same relaxing weekend as my family and I did, and you enjoy your family, you enjoy yourselves, and that's pretty much it for our weekend. I actually did some, unfortunately, I went against my own advice, but there's a couple of things that I had to finish for the office. So I did a little bit of work on Saturday, But it was good because I was alone at the apartment. Jeff and my mom went shopping in San Diego, and I was actually alone. Juan was finishing up painting the apartment, and I had a lot of I did a lot of things that are very tedious and things that don't require me to be dealing with my clients. So I had to tackle those, and since tax season is approaching fast, I had to. Unfortunately, I had to. So there's some times that you have to do what is necessary. You need to do what you need to do, and that's it. That's it. So this week we are going to touch on the topic of corporate culture. You might gonna tell me, why do I need to know corporate culture if we're only 2 or 3 people in my whole office team? Well, because corporate culture, it's going to help you like everything else. You're gonna be like, okay, you're gonna go back there. Like everything else, grow your business. I've never heard any business owner say, oh, you know what? I'm going to open my business just for 1 year and then kill it. I actually, if you have, please let me know, because I would want to interview that person. Oh, I'm just going to do my business just 1 month and that's it. Or I'm just going to do 1 transaction and that's it. Well, I don't think you're going to do 1 transaction, because let me tell you one thing. You're going to like the transaction that you do, first of all. Second, you're going to like the revenue and income that you're going to get. Thirdly, you're going to say, hey, I can do this. And I can do this, it's going to translate into, let me create a business. Let me open a business. Let me do this. Let me do that, right? So I've never heard anyone say, oh, I'm just going to do this for a couple of weeks. No. So let's start by defining, okay? Defining not corporate culture, because that we're going to do. We are going to define what is your business culture. Your own business culture may be based on beliefs spelled out in your mission statement. Remember, we spoke about this. Please avoid doing your mission statement as if you were doing a school project. Yes. You are not participating on a beauty pageant and you don't want world peace. Like every single Miss America, Miss Universe, world peace. I want world peace. I want world peace. Everybody, I hope, seeks and wants world peace. Okay? So your mission statement, okay, it's not a class project. You are grown up and you're in business. Okay? So your mission statement should be clear, should be down to earth. That's anybody that reads it understands what the hell you want. Okay? So your business culture must have those beliefs embedded into your mission statement. Now, those beliefs, okay, those beliefs generally match, they get married between the shareholders' beliefs and the new business. Okay? So you must marry those beliefs. Now, you need to eliminate those stupid beliefs. I'm going very deep, but we must, in order to create a successful business culture, company culture. Okay? It could consist in part of a corporate symbol. A corporate symbol can be as simple as your corporate culture. What's your corporate symbol? What's your business logo? Now, your business logo defines you. It's your identity. It's your branding. Again, it should marry your business mission. Okay? Oh, I want to save the Amazon forest. And you print everything in paper that is not recycled with every single toner and inkjet that you can find. Harvis, how are you, my friend? Happy week. Thanks, great transmission. Thank you, thank you. So, be congruent, right? Be congruent. So what's your logo? What's your identity? What's your image being defined by your mission statement? Yes, I said, oh, in your mission statement is that you want to save the Amazons. But you print everything. You send shitload of mail. You hire a mail company that sends you flyers to every single person in the 20-mile radius from your business. Damn, does that represent your mission? Are those your beliefs? Okay, so you need to be very careful. Whatever shape it takes, your corporate culture plays a big role in determining how well your business will do. Let me tell you one thing. Corporate culture, and we're going to define now corporate culture. We must walk along the path with our strategic planning, with our procedures and systems. Okay? It's not a priority, but it should be at the same level as planning, systems, procedures, operation. Okay? Don't just focus on your corporate culture, or not. Don't just focus on strategy, or don't just focus on growth. Like, I just finished a meeting. It's like, dude, I understand that you are the COO. I completely understand that every business requires revenue to succeed, okay? To subsist. But you must also take care of the ways, forms, and shapes you conduct your business, because otherwise, there's no more business. That's corporate culture. And in actually corporate culture, as business culture definition, it starts from the head down. Remember what we spoke about leadership. People underneath you look up. Even though you are on the top, you're going to look down. But my recommendation is never look down, look face forward, face to face. Don't look down to people. Okay? They are going to look up to you, even though you're looking face to face, but they're going to be looking out to you, the head of the company. Now, if the head of the company is only focused on revenue, every single freaking body in your team, it's going to be focused on revenue, and they're not going to care about what bottom line, and they're not going to care about what compliance, and they're not going to care about whatever happens to you, the owner. I actually said to this person, you and I, we're independent contractors. We're external. We have no skin in the game other than our monthly fees. If the company gets into legal problems or compliance issues, neither you or I are going to say, hey, take money from our monthly fees to take care of the problem. We're not. So we need to change our mentality. We need to change the corporate culture that we can do anything by doing anything we want. Remember, I quoted Machiavelli last week. The means don't justify the outcome, or the means justify the outcome. It can go either way. What's your corporate culture? Are you going to generate any revenue possible utilizing any single freaking shady, legal, and illegal ways of generating revenue? Or your corporate culture tells you to follow a straight line and be ethical and be compliant and be congruent on the way you generate revenue. That's corporate culture. But it comes from up, from the head down. If the CEOs are crooked or shady, mind you, that does not mean that the shareholders are crooked or shady. If the CEO, it's a very straight, respected, compliant individual, that again does not mean that the shareholders are like that. Most likely, they will, both ways. So corporate culture can be defined as a set of shared values, goals, attitudes, and practices that characterize an organization. Shared values, goals, attitudes, and practices that characterize an organization. Of course, that's cold. That's a definition. So let's warm it up with some context. Corporate culture can more simply be defined as the shared ethos of an organization, the center, the beliefs. It's the way people feel about the work they do, the value they deliver in where they see the company going and what they're doing to get it there. Collectively, these traits represent the personality or culture of an organization. My belief, and I've said, and I will express it again, is that Grant Cardone's organization is shady. To me, their representation of their corporate culture is, unfortunately, the cold definition of a used car lot salesperson, that they will utilize every single trick in the book to will you in and sell you something, regardless of whether it works or not. Why? No congruency. Now, unfortunately, our perception of a used car lot salesperson, it's what? Sleazy and shady. Sleazy and shady. Mind you, I am not generating, and I'm pretty sure, and I know that there's a lot of used car lot salespersons out there that are amazing, ethical, and they will not lie at your face that the car that they're selling you that is 3, 4, 5 years old works. Plain and simple. I am not generalizing, right? A company culture influences results from top to bottom. Okay? The average American will spend 1/3 of their life at work. 1/3 of their life at work. And I'm talking about employees, okay? Team members. The environment in which they spend that time will largely dictate the quality of an employee's professional life. If they work for a company with strong culture that aligns with their own beliefs and attitudes, they'll be more likely to work hard and remain with the company for a long time. If, on the other end, the company culture does not reflect their own personal feeling, they're much more likely to leave, or worse, remain with the company, but underperform. Complacency. Okay? Let's review some common misconceptions about corporate culture. Okay? Company culture is not your core values. Core values are a certain part of your culture, but until you put them into action, they'll just words on paper. In fact, core values can negatively impact culture if they aren't adhered to. Team members will see this as company paying lip service and falling in live up to its own standards. Corporate culture, it's not your core values. Core values are part of your corporate culture. Your perks and benefits, they're not part of your corporate culture. Ping pong tables and beer on tap could be great, excuse me, assuming they represent what your employees really care about. But perks and benefits are not substitute for a strong corporate culture. Most of the times, they're seen as bribes. Most of the times, there seems as we are entitled to this. Therefore, there's no corporate culture there. 3, the yardstick by which all candidates should be measured. Hiring for cultural fit has become a hot topic over the past few years, and let's not get into it, please. But we're already seeing companies shift away from this line all through. Hiring people that align with your culture makes sense on the surface, but too many companies use this metric as a clutch. Many companies have pivoted to a cultural ad model, wherein they look for candidates that align with the most important elements of their culture, but will also bring their own unique trait to the table. What's the importance of a corporate culture or company culture? The importance of company culture goes far beyond the vibe of your office. For recruitment to retention to performance, company culture impacts every facet of your business. But how can this be? Let's take a look at a few stats that highlight the importance of company culture. And let me tell you one thing. Don't go out, again, Googling corporate culture for my business. No, this is something that is tailored to your own organization. This is something that comes from within the head of the business. Okay? You cannot, and this happened to us in one of our businesses with our clients. Somebody tried to imitate and mimic a multinational, I'm talking about 4 or 5 continents company where this individual used to work. They tried to mimic that culture into a company of 20 team members. Guess what happened? Humongous disconnection. Imagine the beliefs hitting between the team members and the heads. Dude, even the shareholder did not believe on that corporate culture until it was highlighted and pointed out as like, dude, the company culture for this organization should be tailored to an organization of 20, 25 team members. You're trying to implement a corporate culture of a multinational company. Let me bring you down to earth. Let me bring you out, so you can touch the ground and really understand where you are at right now. So 66% of job seekers consider a company culture and value the most important facts when considering career opportunities. That's interesting. Companies that actively manage their cultural boost 40% higher employee retention. 40% retention. Do you know what does that do to your bottom line? It actually helps it tremendously to grow. Only 28% of executives say they understand their corporate culture. Remember, this is not, hello, Amber alert. This is not a school project. You are actually in business. Fucking do not use some weird wording and textbook mission and corporate culture for your business. Please. Organizations with strong cultural boosts, with strong cultures, boost 72% higher employee engagement rather than those with weak cultures. 72% higher employee engagement, meaning productivity. Higher engaged team outperform their peers by 10% in customer ratings, 21% in productivity, and 22% in profitability. You know what profitability means? That's 22% increase on your bottom line that you, as the owner shareholder of the company, can take home. With due process of tax planning, of course. Unfortunately, only 13% of employees identify as being engaged with their work. 13% identify engaged. That's sad. These numbers illustrate the relationship between culture and performance. Wow. That's a shitload of information for now. What are we going to do? How are we going to strategize? How do we build corporate culture? How do we have core values? How do we set a company culture goal? Involve your team. We'll talk about this in a couple of more episodes. This week, we're going to touch all about corporate culture. We're going to help you. We're going to work on it. We're going to focus on it. Relax. Nothing happens. So let's wait until tomorrow. It's been great seeing you today, and let's end up today's show with our usual quote. And this today comes from Ben Silberman. He's the founder of Pinterest. And he said, "Don't take too much advice. Most people who have a lot of advice to give, with a few exceptions, generalize whatever they did." Be very, very knowledgeable on how to separate the advice that people give you. A lot of coaches out there have never, ever been in business on their own, and they're giving you advice. A lot of coaches out there, or a lot of people that are giving you advice, they generalize everything based on their own experience. Not every single case, regardless of whether you think they are identical, they're not. Do not generalize. Do not generalize in your comments. Do not generalize on your advice. Do not generalize on everything. It's been great seeing you today. See you tomorrow. Bon appetit. Ciao.
Thank you for listening to Lunch with a Shark. If you would like to set up a consultation with the Shark CFO, Vidal Espinosa, visit his website www.invictus-advisors.com and don't forget to subscribe on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn.